Thank you. Okay, welcome everybody to the Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency meeting. It's Wednesday, May 25th, 2022 at 4:02 p.m. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meeting Rules are on the north wall of the agency room. We'll hold the meeting in accordance with those. In attendance today, we have agency members from Springfield, Gretna, La Vista, Papillion, and Sarpy. Mayor Hike from Bellevue's en route. We have our agency administrator, Dan Hoins, our secretary, Lisa Hare, and our treasurer, Bill Green. We'll go ahead and get started with the agency reports. First off, as soon as we do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, I was up here signing checks, and the numbers were so large, I got a little carried away there. No, not really. But let's do any announcements or comments first, too. You guys have anything? Anything? Okay. Then we'll get right into the agency reports. And we'll start with Dan Hoins, Agency Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, member mayors. Follow-up from last month's meeting is we had a pretty busy agenda with amendments to the budget approval, GMP, and formation interlocal. There were 4 items. All of those were required to go back to your respective governing bodies. The budget amendments and the proposed budget have passed all 6 members' governing bodies, so we're good there. I think 4 of the 6 have approved the formation interlocal agreement and the GMP policies, but a couple have requirements to send them to their planning commission. And so they're working their way through their planning commission. Anticipated date, a delivery date or finalization of date of June of those, so that should get us good by the end of the fiscal year. For this afternoon's agenda, Mr. Chair, member mayors, there's obviously we have a general construction agreement that Jeff Thompson will talk about. We also have a member from Hawkins. I only point that out. It's really important to what it is not. It is not, the agreement does not address the guaranteed maximum price. It's a general conditions contract, and Jeff and Hawkins can explain more of that. For the next couple of months, we'll be finalizing it. We anticipate a July GMP date to come back, so we'll know with certainty what this project's going to cost, but it was important to get the contract executed, the terms, and they can give you those details. But I want to tell you, it's not the GMP. There's been a couple of questions. So that concludes my report. Okay,
thank you, Dan. Any questions for Dan? Okay, agency reports from the staff. Leanne Ziettlow from HDR.
Good afternoon, Leanne Ziettlow for HDR and the engineering team. We're almost to the finish line on all of the plans and specifications for this remaining package. As you know, Springfield is under construction. Segments on the force main, segments 1, 2, and 3 are either 95% complete or have already been submitted to NDE for their final review. So those 3 are basically complete. We're just waiting for the final comments. Segment 4, the very easterly end, is the one that goes under the levee. We did get the NDE construction permit for that. For ZC3, the gravity sewer over by 63rd and Platteview, we also received the construction permit from NDE for that. And we also have in hand the construction permit for the lift stations. So we've got 3 in hand and 3 that are either down to NDE or will be in the next couple of weeks. So we're nearing the finish line, and we are working with Jeff and Hawkins to post those documents out, because I know Hawkins is starting to price some of those items. I did hear unofficially that they've approved our 408. We don't have anything in writing, but we understand that it's being routed for signatures. Not really sure how long that takes, but I would think that it would be here shortly. So that's great news. As I understand that the 404 that has been down and waiting, that's only been waiting for the 408 to get signed. So my understanding is that when they sign the 408, which allows us to go under the levy, we'll also get the 404, which gives us all the rest of the core permits that we need. So that's really great news from our standpoint. We are also helping Jeff and others with the early procurement on the lift stations. There's been some submittals for the lift station documents that you guys approved a couple of months ago to buy those early to provide to Hawkins. So those are on the way. Other than that, working with Hawkins and Jeff, supporting whatever CMAR items. We've reviewed a couple of their value engineering items. We've started to get some RFIs and things on our plans, but not to be unexpected, and we're coordinating through that. So that's my report for this month.
Questions for Leanne? Thanks,
Thank you.
Leanne. Adam Charlsen, Agency Attorney.
Thank you. More of the same for us. We are working with Midwest Right Away, HDR, and Jeff on the land rights acquisitions. We had a update call with Midwest team today. We are, with one exception, we've got all the land rights, at least under contract or purchased for segment 4, the far eastern segment, and then I think just a couple left on ZC3. So we're making great progress there, and a number of those are on the agenda for today for approval. The CMAR contract, and working with Jeff and the Hawkins team on that. We are to the point where we have what we hope is a final draft for your consideration and hopeful approval today. And we can, Jeff will get into it later, but it's sitting in Lincoln right now to get concurrence and approval from NDEE. Since they're our funder, they need to approve our contract. So, and then, the regular stream of growth management plan questions and exceptions that are, still come in. I work with Jeff and Steve Jensen on that as well. So, any questions for me?
Questions for Adam? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on the consent agenda today, we only have one item. It's the claims report from May 25th. Unless any of the agency members want to see that moved, I'll take a motion to approve as published.
So moved. Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Kindig of La Vista and a second by Mayor Roseland of Springfield. Any concerns or questions? Please vote.
Yeas 5, absent Bellevue.
Okay, on the regular agenda, the first item is the minutes from our last meeting in April. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mayor Kindig, a second by Mayor Evans of Gretna. Was someone missing last month? Who?
Bellevue.
Oh, Bellevue. Okay. Please, questions? Please vote.
Yeas 5, absent Bellevue.
Okay, item number 3 is Resolution 22. It's authorizing award and execution of the standard agreement and general conditions for construction services between Sarpy County and City's Wastewater Agency and Hawkins Construction Company. Jeff Thompson, Agency Project Engineer.
Chairman Kelly, agency member mayors, Jeff Thompson, project engineer for the agency. As Dan alluded to, we've been working with Hawkins on the CMAR contract. This is just a standard terms and conditions contract. It does not establish the overall project cost, but does outline the terms and conditions of our agreement with Hawkins, as well as their fee associated with that. I know, just as maybe a general reminder, we have been working with Hawkins under a pre-construction agreement for them to be able to provide us with, preliminary pricing and review of documents and those kinds of things so that we can keep things rolling. But just thought I'd go through and give you a few general highlights of the agreement. What you may have read is it's a little bit different than normal, but they have 7 packages that will be bid independently of one another. One's the pipe package. There'll be the 4 segments of force main that will be bid separately, as well as the lift stations and the Ziettlow Creek gravity line. So we'll have 7 packages that they'll be bidding independent of one another, but then they will bring all those together to give us our total guaranteed maximum price. Chairman Kelly, you'll be very happy to know that I used all the sharp pencils that you gave me. The CMAR fee established for this contract is 13.5%. It's about a 1.5 lower than what the normal industry standard is for these types of contracts. So anything that Hawkins performs would be at a 13.5% rate as opposed to the 15 or 18%, sometimes 20 that you see in normal contracts like these. So. The terms of the agreement must comply with the SRF loan, as Adam spoke to. That is down at the NDE for review and concurrence. Once we have that, we will execute the agreement, assuming that we don't have any minor changes associated with that. We are asking for a bit of latitude with the agreement in the event that they have some tweaks that we need to make to that, that we can go ahead and do that without coming back to the board. It wouldn't be anything substantive, just would make sure that we're crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's and following the SRF loan requirements. Substantial completion. I know everybody's always worried about timing and when things will be complete. That timeline will be established with the GMP packages as well, so they'll provide us a timeline for each individual construction phase package that they send out. We did build in liquidated damages associated with that at $1,500 a day, just to have some teeth and be able to make sure that we're continuing to press forward and continue on time and not let things linger on. And Hawkins was in agreement with that as well. They will continue to carry performance and payments bonds just like they would in any other contract, as well as the insurance. One thing I would add is we're not looking at doing an owner-controlled insurance program with this contract. Hawkins will carry all the liability insurance associated with this, and that was something that they felt they were very competitive on and would likely save us some time on a staff level. So again, finally, just want to remind you that DE still has to review this, and they've while they've been good to work with, they do take some time to get through these documents. So with that, I will answer any questions that you may have.
Questions for Jeff? Any comments? Well, I appreciate you hammering this out, and we're really looking forward to working with Hawkins. I know they're going to do a great job, and things are going to go extremely well now that we can get them to work. So
the team effort, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Adam and the rest of his legal team and the legal team over at Hawkins, because those guys behind the scenes were really doing most of the heavy lifting. So.
great,
And if
thank you.
things don't go well, it's your fault, Jeff.
Yeah, it always is. It always is, yeah.
Good enough. Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Kindig and a second by Mayor Roseland. Any discussion? Please vote.
Yeas 5, absent Bellevue.
Okay, item number 4 is Resolution 23, which authorizes the board chair and vice to execute land right purchases agreements and related instruments on tracts of land owned by Barron Mauricio. Rodriquez and Miranda Olson. As a matter of fact, items 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all similar petitions, so I'll just go ahead and read them all. We'll vote on them separately, if that's okay. And you can cover them all at once. Would that be okay?
4 through 7.
4 through 7.
8's
okay.
a condemnation.
All right,
authority.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 4. 5 is Resolution 24. which is agreements for and related instruments on tracts owned by Robert Najowski. Item 6 is Resolution 25, which is tracts of land owned by KTC LLC. And item number 7 is Resolution 26, which is tracts of land owned by Mark and Melissa Bowder. Adam Charlsen, Agency Legal Counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. These are all just current easement and temporary construction easement acquisitions. I believe all of these are in the eastern segment, far eastern end, segment 4. They're slightly, or they're above the appraised value, but take considerations of some reroutings and some other site things and legal costs of condemning. Midwest recommended, and we support the recommendation to approve.
Any questions?
Only one is if there's no objection, you open to a motion to do them all in one vote?
If we can do that.
I'd
we
make
do
that motion.
I would second that.
Okay.
Make
So-
motion to approve 23, 24, 25, and 26.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Black of Papillion, second by Mayor Kendig of La Vista, to approve resolutions 23, 24, 25, and 26. Discussion? Please vote.
Yeas, 5, absent Bellevue.
Okay. The last item on the agenda today is item 8, which is Resolution 27. It's condemnation of necessary property rights on the eastern segment of tracts of land owned by Flatbed Express and tracts owned by Gary and/or Mary Davy. Adam.
This one is also in the eastern segment. We are asking for authority to condemn. We're not going to do it right away. It's the negotiations have hit an impasse. This lack of constant responses to Midwest's communications until a couple of days ago, and there's been some in earnest discussions, but we felt to not pull this off at this time. That way, if we hit another impasse, we can proceed without coming back to the board. But I think we'll get something worked out with this one. It appears to be more timing of construction and some minor, and then a minor piece of that, some access that I think we can get around.
Yeah. Questions?
Just out of curiosity, when we approve this, does it expire after a certain period of time? Is it
On
like-
this one, the way it's written, no.
Okay. I-
Certainly do that, but no.
It was just a curious
Yeah.
question, that's all.
Motion, please.
Motion. Second.
Okay, a motion by Mayor Evans of Gretna, second by Mayor Roseland of Springfield. Discussion? Please vote.
Yeas, 5, absent Bellevue.
Okay, our next meeting is June 22nd, right in the middle of the College World Series, so let's keep the agenda light. And if possible, it's hard to do, there's a lot going on. Really appreciate the work of the staff and all the folks supporting the agency. So all agenda items have been addressed as published in the Sarpy County and Cities Wastewater Agency Board is adjourned. Thanks for coming.